I never realized how much I want Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock to be policemen in my neighborhood. The Other Guys, released in 2010 and is directed by Adam McKay, who's also behind such films like Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, and Anchorman 2. And the film stars Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Eva Mendes, Michael Keaton, Steve Coogan, Ray Stevenson, Samuel L. Jackson, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And it is narrated by one of the greatest detectives in all of New York City, Ice-T. Yeah, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you, but I don't give a shit about what you say. You gonna make me slap you. Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg play two detectives in New York City that really get no assignments at all. They are the cops that do all the paperwork for big hotshot policemen like Samuel L. Jackson and Dwayne Johnson. But one day The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson get taken out, so there are no other detectives other than Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell to get on the case. And really, that is all that's going on here. Not a lot to the plot of this one. But of course, this movie came out in really the decade of Will Ferrell. Starting with Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, moving to Talladega Nights, where he played a race car driver. He was a figure skater. He was a soccer dad. He was a stepbrother. He was a basketball player. It was really, how many comedies can this guy do where he plays a certain different type of person, but all kind of being the same because they all have the same humor. All of them are very dumb-witted, they're very slapsticky, unlike Alan Gamble that Will Ferrell plays in this movie. And it's one of two aspects that I really loved about this film. Will Ferrell's characterization in this film is very subdued, it's very subtle. And I really like that because it's a great change of pace for Will Ferrell. He always plays the guy putting on ridiculous suits or saying ridiculous things. No, Alan Gamble is someone that sits back, doesn't draw any attention to himself, and just does paperwork all day long at this police precinct. And as the film is starting, I'm thinking, this is a more mature, subdued Will Ferrell. Don't get me wrong, I love movies like Anchorman. I have had my fair share of laughs when it comes to Will Ferrell, but it has been a long time since I've gotten those belly laughs from a Will Ferrell performance. And I'm happy to say that with this subtle character, I was chuckling like crazy. Mark Wahlberg in this duo was more of the slapsticky, over-the-top actor. And I think Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, they have tremendous chemistry here. It's obvious as a viewer, you can see that they are just playing off of each other, they're riffing off of each other, and it's a lot of fun to watch. But is that enough to hold my interest throughout this entire film? No, I don't think so. Because the film opens, kind of a minor spoiler here, but the film opens and we get these two action cops in The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. They're throwing out one-liners left and right, they're driving buses, they're crashing cars, explosions are going off, and they're the big heroes of New York City. These are the modern-day Lethal Weapon cops. And we spend the first 5 to 10 minutes with these guys, which was strange to me because I've seen the DVD cover, I've seen the poster, I know that Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell are the stars of this movie, so where are they at? And our introduction to them is really nonchalant. We really just kind of cut to them and oh, hey, there they are. They're in the precinct. Which I guess reiterates the title of this movie. They're the other guys. They're the ones that people really don't think about. But I was hoping just for a little bit better of an introduction for these two. Maybe some establishing shots where we see the characters maybe come to the precinct or get up in bed, make themselves a cup of coffee. We can see their daily routine just to get to know these characters. But no, we're just in the precinct and just kind of cuts over to them and we just find out that they're ticked off. Well, at least Mark Wahlberg's character is ticked off. Will Ferrell doesn't really care because he likes doing paperwork. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to really care about these people. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, give me the Samuel L. Jackson The Rock movie. I want that so bad now. Not the brightest duo, though, with how they get taken out. And after that moment happens, which really was like the first 30 minutes, this film kind of dragged for me. I did end up watching the non-theatrical release, the unrated version. And with any of these Adam McKay comedies, Will Ferrell comedies, when you watch the unrated version, you can just tell that there's a lot of times where they just riff on jokes and just drags the film out. Which the first couple of times you see and you can tell that that's happening in the film, you go along with it and you laugh. But then by the end of the film, it's a little daunting. I get it. You can monologue something funny. Let's just get to the climax here. May have been a mistake for my first time viewing this film. I feel like that always happens to me, these Adam McKay type comedies too. I'll start off by watching the unrated version and let the actors just go wild. Now it is nice when the director gets in there and kind of hones down the vision a little bit. Michael Keaton makes an appearance in here though. This is the time when he started to make a comeback. From out of nowhere, that dude was everywhere in the 80s and early 90s. Then all of a sudden he's just vanished. And then in the past couple of years, we started seeing him pop up more in RoboCop, in this film, in Birdman, and he just kills it in whatever he does. So it's really nice to see, well, it's basically a glorified cameo here. Eva Mendes does a good job as Will Ferrell's wife in this film. I love the comedy behind her character. I mean, you look at Eva Mendes and you'd say, yes, she is absolutely a beautiful woman. But the comedy here is that she thinks, and Will Ferrell thinks, that she is, at best, just okay. And Mark Wahlberg's like, what? No. Are you kidding me? She's gorgeous. What? A little confusing, but I like those moments. That's kind of what I'm figuring out as I'm going through this review. This film had a lot of moments in it, and there were some characterizations that I really loved. But other than that, this is just another one of those Will Ferrell stereotypical comedy character things. And he got paired with Mark Wahlberg, who is, you know, stereotypically like that Boston cop. Hey, yeah, I'm a cop. Do you not know I'm a cop? Come on, I'm a cop. But the storyline is really forgettable. The villain is really forgettable. I actually watched this movie a week ago, and I purposely wanted to wait a week to even try to comprehend what this was, and I can't really recall anything about what they were after, what they were researching, who they were fighting. Which I guess shame on me, because I should do these movie reviews as soon as I'm done watching the film, but I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna wait a little bit and I'm gonna see how the comedy and the story resonates with me after a week. And it really didn't. I remember Steve Coogan is a billionaire and he's trying to buy off the cops because he's stealing money from the cop pension fund. I completely forgot. I don't know. And if that's happened after a couple of days, I mean, how satisfying was this movie really? Not really. So guys, in the end, The Other Guys is really it's a serviceable film, but it's also a very forgettable one. This is the best characterization I've seen Will Ferrell do in his decade of dominance, being the subtle character, not the over-the-top one. It was a nice change of pace. Mark Wahlberg is badass Mark Wahlberg. Not much of a stretch for him. And they have some fun cameos. Samuel L. Jackson, The Rock. That's really the movie I wanted here. But by and large, this film was really a nothing to me. I don't even remember seeing promotions or trailers for this when it was coming out in the theater. Is it terrible? No, not at all. This is one of those movies that you can have it playing like on cable in the background while you're doing anything else. Nothing really to get invested with. So with that said, I'm gonna give The Other Guys 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. So everyone, now comes my favorite part in my video where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and my next movie is recommended to me by Wilhelm Media, a longtime supporter of my channel, always commenting on almost all of my videos, so thank you very much, Wilhelm Media, and as my gift to you, you recommended American Assassin. It's the Michael Keaton one, I know that, and was it last year or was it a couple years ago? I don't know, because it's a film I've never seen before. Another film in the resurrection of Michael Keaton. Another one of those films during the resurrection of Michael Keaton. I do remember seeing trailers for this and being very interested, especially since Michael Keaton, he's really the trainer of all these assassins. But that is really the only name that I know. I heard it didn't do too well in the box office. I remember people saying, well, it's not bad, but it's also nothing, you know, spectacular. But I have been meaning to watch it, so what better way to view it on this channel? Thank you very much, Wilhelm Media, for the recommendation. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, please comment below this video or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter page. Leave your comments there, and if I have access to the film, I'll watch it on here and give you a shout out on my channel. So everyone, have you seen The Other Guys? What did you think about it? Or how does it stand up against other Will Ferrell comedies? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know what you thought. And after you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I'm posting my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of American Assassin. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.